Hello again and welcome to Orgullo Hispano. My name is Hector Sabido and I would like to welcome you to the podcast put on by the Hispanic Leaders Network. It is an honor and a pleasure for you to join us today and I'm excited for you to meet our guest. But first, I want to thank our sponsors that have made this podcast available. I would like to thank the Leadership Empowerment Group and of course Wilkerson Hatch Bailey for being so wonderful sponsors and making sure that this message is heard by all. And so I would like to take this time to introduce to you my good friend and our guest for today is Amine Qourzal. Amine, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Hector.
Amine, for those that don't know, is the mayor of the city of Woodway. And something that really caught my attention about Amine, I've known Amine for a few years now. We've known each other for a few years now. Oh, yeah. But Amine is probably one of the happiest, most joyous people that I've ever met in my life. And so when you first meet him, you think, God, I just want to be around this guy all the time. But Amine,
would you tell my kids that?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you tell sometimes
they don't see that side.
They don't see that side. That's right.
But Amine, muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros hoy. Te agradecemos que tomaste el tiempo sé que estás bien ocupado.
Sí, bueno.
No solo eres alcalde de la ciudad de Woodway, pero también tienes tu profesión en la Universidad de Baylor. Eres esposo, tienes hijos, estás involucrado en la comunidad y así que sé que estás bien ocupado. So, muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros.
Es un placer, Héctor. Muchísimas gracias por tenerme y encantado de estar con ustedes.
I mean, yo sé que yo te conozco bien y somos amigos, pero también quiero que los que están escuchando este podcast que también te conozcan. Así que si nos dices un poquito de ti, de dónde eres originalmente, cómo llegaste a Waco, y queremos saber de tu niñez, de tu juventud y ahora también de tu familia, por favor.
Claro que sí, claro que sí. Bueno, pues primeramente quiero darte las gracias, Héctor, por todo lo que estás haciendo en la comunidad hispana.
Gracias.
Necesitamos una persona que de verdad tiene el corazón para la gente hispana y tú estás haciendo un trabajo increíble.
Muchas gracias, amigo.
Quiero darte las gracias por eso y gracias por tenerme aquí contigo esta tarde. Bueno, yo crecí en España, crecí en la ciudad de Málaga, que por lo cual es donde también creció Pablo Picasso, Antonio Banderas. Y bueno, varias personas famosas. Y
Málaga está en la playa de España.
Está
¿verdad?
en el sur de España, en el Mediterráneo, y es un lugar, bueno, hermoso. Hay que visitarlo algún día, Héctor.
Queremos.
Te va a gustar muchísimo. Pero yo crecí ahí y mis padres son misioneros.
Okay.
Y todavía están ahí sirviendo al Señor y haciendo gran cosas para el reino de Dios.
Qué padre.
Y yo crecí ahí y cuando cumplí 18 años fui aceptado a la Universidad de Baylor y llegué aquí en Waco en el año 2001.
¿Y era tu primera vez aquí en Waco?
Mi primera vez. Nunca.
¿Qué pensaste cuando llegaste a Waco? What did you think about Waco?
You know, the truth, Hector, the only thing I knew about Waco, of course, was the 1993 siege, and that was kind of what was what I knew about it. I'd never visited before. But as soon as I got here, Hector, as soon as I got off the bus that brought me, I felt at home.
Wow.
I'd left Spain. I'd arrived in Waco without knowing a soul.
Sure.
But I instantly felt at home, and I felt something special about this community.
What do you attribute that to, though?
You know, I never went a Thanksgiving, a Christmas. I never went without a ride. I never went alone. As soon as I got off here, the people in this community are just tremendous.
That's wonderful.
And they immediately adopted me as one of their own.
I love it.
Here in the Waco community are just some of the most generous people I've ever met. And I never went a Thanksgiving, a Christmas, never needed a ride. Always there was somebody available to help me and to involve me and to include me. So it was a natural fit for me. Here 20 years later, I still feel the same way. I remember breaking down on LaSalle Avenue one day, Hector, and 3 different cars pulled over to ask if they could help me. And of course, I was trying to be macho and said, no, I got it. But I said, if one more car pulls over, I'm going to ask them for it.
And did they pull over?
And they pulled over, and I said, could you help me please change this tire?
Was this at the corner store that you and a friend had to go get chips for? Sorry, that's an inside joke. He knows what I'm talking about. He played a mean joke on me one day.
No comment. That's for another podcast.
Okay, sounds good.
But arrived as an 18-year-old with big dreams, big hopes, and first one in my family to go to college. First one in my family tree to start a life in America.
Uh-huh.
And since that happened, my brother moved here also just a few years after me, and then my sister also moved here to the Waco community, and they're all thriving and doing great things. So
your siblings are here in Waco now.
They are.
But your parents are still back in Spain.
My parents are still back in Spain, serving and doing great things there. We're hoping to get them here eventually, Hector. Yeah, we're working on them.
So I mean, let me ask you, coming from Spain, which obviously the majority are Spanish people.
Yes.
Coming to the States and going to a university that I think we were at Baylor very close in time, but back then there weren't a lot of people of color in general.
Right.
What was there a culture shock as you assimilated to not only the United States but a new university, or did you feel like the transition was smooth?
I will say it was a lot smoother than I ever expected it to be.
That's great.
Right when a few weeks after I enrolled at Baylor, 9/11 happened. And there was, nationwide, we saw a lot of strain between people of different ethnicities. There was a lot of maybe distrust of a lot of people from, brown heritage, if I can say that.
Yes.
And I never once encountered that at Baylor University, in the Waco community. I never once felt any type of prejudice or anything
phenomenal
at all. And I mean that sincerely, because it was a sensitive time.
Sure,
we were
absolutely.
all, feeling very sensitive about what was going on in our country. So the transition was culturally was smooth. I didn't have very much trouble making new friends or getting involved. But I will say that the education piece from my American colleagues, a lot of them, some of them didn't know where Spain was.
Right.
And, they didn't know, they thought Spain was a lot like Mexico, and they said, "Oh, you eat tacos and fajita?" And I said, "No, it's
a little different there."
Actually, the first time I had a really good taco was here in Texas, here. So the education piece had to be, just because geographically there wasn't a lot there. But other than that, Hector, the transition into Baylor and into Waco was really, I couldn't have asked for better.
So terminando la Universidad de Baylor, conociste a tu esposa.
Sí.
La mejor mitad de la pareja, ¿verdad?
Pues tengo que decir que sí, Héctor.
Así es.
Tengo que decir que sí, sin duda.
Pero Lisa y tú tienen 3 hijos, una familia bella.
Gracias.
¿Qué es algo que tú le quieres pasar a tus hijos como hispanos? ¿Qué has visto que a lo mejor algunas barreras con tus hijos, porque en sí son mitad hispanos, mitad americanos?
Exacto.
¿Cómo tú y tu esposa pueden parejar las dos culturas en tu casa?
Creo que lo más importante, Héctor, es que mis niños no olviden sus raíces.
Okay.
Ellos tienen que saber que su su padre y sus abuelos crecieron en una cultura completamente diferente de lo que están creciendo ellos mismos. Y pienso que lo más importante es no solo aprender español, pero también aprender la historia y lo que está pasando en España y en la región donde viven mis padres, sus abuelos, los abuelos de mis niños. Creo que es muy importante que mis niños aprendan de sus abuelos y pasan tiempo con otros niños de la cultura hispana. Creo que eso es muy importante porque noto que en cultura es muy fácil quedarte con gente que parece igual a ti.
Así es.
¿Sabes? Y tenemos que romper esas barreras.
Así es.
Y tenemos que dejar a nuestros niños jugar con otros niños de otros lugares, otros países, otras culturas. Y
otros idiomas, otras comidas para que ellos experimenten todo el mundo.
Exacto. Y yo quiero que mis niños tengan amigos que parecen diferentes de ellos y que hablan de diferentes maneras. Y creo que eso es muy importante y eso es lo que quiero dar a mis niños. Es una perspectiva universal, global.
¿Y cómo ves, como ahorita tú trabajas también, regresaste a trabajar a la Universidad de Baylor?
Sí.
¿Cómo tu carrera profesional ha moldado a la persona que tú eres hoy?
Bueno, para mí es la gente que entran en mi vida. Si es un estudiante, un profesor, otro colega, yo de verdad pongo mucho en la relación. Entonces yo soy una persona que necesita tener relaciones genuinas, auténticas y que crecen.
Claro,
¿Sabes?
Claro.
Que pueden hacerse más. Y en mi vida profesional me encanta trabajar con diferentes personas, estudiantes de diferentes partes del mundo y tener relaciones con esas personas.
Perfecto.
Y traigo de también tener ese tipo de mente, ese tipo de perspectiva cuando estoy en mi vida personal también.
So let's fast forward a little bit, because I want to get to your really growing political career. So in 2000, and I say that with all honesty.
Yeah.
In 2019, you ran for city council for the city of Woodway.
Yes.
You won that race. Joined the Woodway City Council. But here this year, you actually became the mayor of the city of Woodway.
That's
but correct me if I'm wrong, you made history. You became the first Hispanic and or Latino mayor of the city of Woodway.
That's right. That's right.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I sent you, we were at an event a couple weeks ago. We were texting and I told you that I was proud of you for the way you represent all of us. And I know people are going to say not one person represents, an entire culture or a heritage. However, I do think that it's important that we as Latinos, as Hispanics, that we congratulate one another when they're doing well and when they're being successful and get in your corner and say, hey, you have some people behind you that are cheering you on.
That's right.
And so I told you I was very proud of you of the way you represented us in that room. And so I want to know, first of all, what drove you to get involved in local politics, but also, how does it feel to make history, man?
Well, you're very kind, Hector, and very encouraging. So thank you, first of all, for that. It's a great honor, and that's the best way that I can say it. It's a great honor, and it is something that speaks directly to me because, like I said in Spanish, relationships are very important to me.
Sure.
And the ability to serve a community like Woodway, I don't have another word for it other than it's a great honor. And, at 38 years old, to be selected by peers who have lived in the community a long time, that says something. For me to run an election, to run a campaign, and to have members of the community vote for somebody who has a name that's a little bit difficult to pronounce, who has a name that's a little bit, spelt differently.
And is coming from a different country.
That really is a great honor.
Absolutely.
And if there's anybody listening from the community, thank you. And I can't thank you enough for putting your trust in me and allowing me this great honor. So I know I've said the word many times, but truly it's an honor, Hector. And I love serving, and this has been a milestone in my life.
Well, and I think, honestly, your humility oozes out of you. And so when you say it's an honor, I think not only do I know that, but people that know you know that about you. And I have to say, man, so I've been fortunate enough to know a few people from the city of Woodway, and you guys have some good things going on over there. What do you think is pushing the city itself to become more diverse and inclusive and embracing doing things that maybe the city hasn't done before? What do you attribute that to?
I think we have a tremendous city council and a tremendous city staff who are moving in the direction of making Woodway a truly amazing place, not just to live and work, but also a place to thrive. And I think that's contagious, Hector. I think having that magical formula of a great community, an open community, that invites people from all walks of life to really take a look and see, wow, Woodway is really a wonderful place to thrive.
Sure.
I want to be involved. And so we're doing that in a number of ways, and there's many exciting things coming in the near future. So stay tuned.
I will.
Stay tuned. And I invite everybody, if you haven't been to Woodway in a while, I encourage you, make the trip down, come see us. I think you'll be very, 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 very impressed.
And people can check out discoverwoodway.com.
Discoverwoodway.com for all the events. We're also very present on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, happy to feel free to reach out to me directly as well if I can be of assistance.
Well, man, the time has gone by fast, pero antes que terminemos, quiero apoyar que tú digas algo a unas personas, a un niño o una niña que son hispanos o que a lo mejor son de otro país y están tratando de buscar su lugar en este mundo, en esta temporada de su vida, o a lo mejor están pensando de entrar en las políticas locales, pero a lo mejor están pensando, no, eso no es para mí, o no sé si lo puedo hacer, si lo puedo hacer. ¿Qué le dirías a esas personas que están escuchando este podcast ahorita?
Bueno, yo diría, Héctor, y quiero hablar específicamente a esa persona que tal vez nos está escuchando y nos está escuchando en un lugar o un trabajo que la verdad no les guste mucho. Tal vez es una situación que ellos piensan que esto es todo. No tengo más que dar en mi vida. Y quiero hablar específicamente a esas personas.
Okay.
Y lo que quiero decir es, no paras. No dejas de pensar en un gran futuro. Todos tenemos la potencial de tener un futuro muy grande y con muchas cosas increíbles. Y diría también que esto no es el final. tú puedes hacer gran cosas. Y si estás pensando que no tienes lo que hace falta para ser alcalde o ser un hombre o mujer de gran éxito, creo que deberías pensar de nuevo y empezar a tener sueños de nuevo en un futuro brillante. Y todos tenemos ese potencial. Entonces, no paras, sigue soñando de ese futuro y ponte en un lugar, en una situación donde puedes crecer. No hay que quedarse en un sitio ahí parado. Todos tenemos la potencial de ser increíbles. Y eso es lo que quiero decir a las personas, que no paran de soñar y pensar en un futuro increíble.
Perfecto, gracias. Una pregunta más.
Dime.
What's next for Mayor Qourzal?
Well, I want to grow in this community, Hector. We've laid down some roots here. The Qourzal family loves Waco, loves Woodway, loves Central Texas. I would say what's next is to expect to see the next generation, the next crew rise up to serve others and to serve the Hispanic community, the Waco community, and everybody who makes our society just so wonderful. So great things are coming. Just like I said, never stop dreaming, never stop reaching for the next thing.
Mayor, Amine, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your work. But honestly, most importantly, in my opinion, just thank you for being such a great person. It was an honor to have you here today.
Honor to be with you. Thank you, Hector. And you're a great friend. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you to all of our listeners again. Please stay tuned as we have more people featured during Hispanic Heritage Month. But once again, I would like to thank our sponsors for joining us, the Leadership Empowerment Group and Wilkerson Hatch Bailey. Until next time, take care.
This episode of Orgullo Hispano was made possible through the generosity of these sponsors. The Hispanic Leaders Network is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. Our vision is to develop and empower current and future leaders to make a difference in the community. To sponsor a future Orgullo Hispano podcast episode, email hlnwaco@hln-waco.org or visit the HLN website at www.hlnwaco.org.